Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thank you very much for joining me for this week's Friday Sews video. This is a Friday Sews with a difference. It is the Stitch Festival edition. So thank you very much for joining me. I would grab a cup of tea or something nice to snack on throughout this. I think it might be a bit of a long one. I have a lot of notes. My sewing room is packed full of stuff. So yes, I do have quite a bit to share with you and I'm very excited. So before we get started, as always, a huge thank you to Jen from Today in Jen Sewing Room for setting up the Friday Sews hashtag, where we talk about what we have been sewing, what we will be sewing, and a little bit of life as well. So also before we get started, what I'm wearing, this is a mashup of the Made It Patterns Hug hoodie and the Waves and Wild hot coffee hoodie. So Made It Patterns sadly don't trade anymore. I absolutely love this Hug hoodie. It's really nice. It's a raglan sweatshirt and it's got this little crossover detail here. It's 3 guesses at what I'm wearing. Stella joggers. And then the hood is the hot coffee the hot coffee hood, which crosses over, and then as a little detail I added in a little bit of Liberty fabric as a trim. So I made this about 2 years ago I think, and I absolutely love it because the weather is warm but not hot. It's kind of mild but quite windy, so I think it's perfect for today. So that's my little catch up. So what I have been sewing, not a huge amount. I think I mentioned 2 weeks ago, which was my last Friday sews, that I wasn't doing a huge amount of sewing between this, that and the other. So I'm working on my Sew Frugal makes. So I'm pretty much finished those now, which is great. So I haven't been to you with the Friday sews, but I have put out 2 videos since I saw you last. So the last week I put out the first edition of my French Seams favourites. So that covered my favourite dresses. Next week, hopefully you should get one on bags. And then I've also got one on tops and one on sweatshirts. So it's a little 4-episode mini series all about my favourites, what I make lots and lots, what I wear lots and lots, those kind of things, just give you an idea. So they're going to be short and sweet, but they're really fun to delve into the archive to see what I've been doing. So you got that video. You also got my Sew Frugal video. I was lucky enough to be part of the vlogger tour that came out this week, and I will link both of those vlogs, the Sew Frugal and the French Seams favourites, down below and also up here. So I think it's either that way or it's that way. I think it's that way. I'll link both those below, but they were really good fun to make, and thank you for all the feedback on those. So yes, I'm almost finished my Sew Frugal makes and they've been really good fun. Challenging, but really good fun, and I will do a full reveal on those at the end of the month, which is looming. End of March is looming. So that's what I've been doing. Sewing has been pretty light. You may remember, I think the last time I showed you this little Juliet pouch. It's from Centre Street Quilts that I made. A few of you did notice that I put the leaves on upside down. Yeah, but I don't think you'd really notice. So that's what I've been doing. But I did mention that I had made 2 more of these and I've since finished them. So I'll pop a picture in here, and they have now been gifted to my mum and my sister, and they've been very gratefully received. So I'd highly recommend this pattern. I'll link it below. It comes in 2 sizes, but you can make your own size, and it's a very cute pattern. It's got a little zip and it's got a little vinyl thing in the front, and it's adorable. And one lady did mention, actually, because I mentioned that I'd like to change up the vinyl portion, she said to do a template on my Cricut and then cut that out. Genius. You people always amaze me. The ideas you come up with is just brilliant. So that's what I've been getting up to. I do have all my lists here because I have an awful lot to get through and I don't want to forget anything, otherwise I'll be slicing and dicing things here, there and everywhere. Since I saw you last, we had Patrick's Day. So we had a long weekend here in Ireland, and we went down to stay with grandparents, which was lovely. So we had a lovely long weekend. The weather was actually very good. Historically, Patrick's weekend, the weather is dire, but it was actually pretty good. I wore my green Billy sweatshirt, obviously, and we went to a parade, and my boys' favourite part of the parade is that we always go for an ice cream afterwards. So they were perfectly happy. So we had a lovely weekend. And then by the time we got back from Patrick's weekend, it was time to go to stitch. So it's just been a complete whirlwind the past 2 weeks. It really has. Aside from severe FOMO from Plymouth Frocktails, any of you catch up on those videos, it looked amazing. So that's what I've been up to. I have got some happy posts which I'd like to show you. So for one of my Sew Frugal makes, if you watch my video you'll know why I needed to buy a zip. So I went to Ecobee. So they're an online shop, I'll link them below, but they do have a bricks and mortar shop which they opened recently. So I can't wait to go. I still haven't been to it. But I noticed, so I bought a zip, and then as I was there I thought, oh, they sell snaps. So I love using snaps. I use my trusty Prim snapper hooker upper. And I was running low. You might notice that on some of my recent projects my snaps have been all different colours. So I spotted that they sold zips, snaps. So I bought some pink ones and some white ones, and you get the little pins, and then you get the 2 bits to go front and back, so 2 little snaps, which are great. So I picked those up. Then I was also intrigued by this. I think it's called fusible web, I think, which is really cool. So it comes on a kind of a paper like this. I think I got about 1 meter, but if you peel this back, it does look like a little web, which is really cool. And I think I can probably iron that to put in zips and stuff. I've never used it, so if anybody has used this, please let me know. I'd be very keen to see what it's like, but I was just tempted by that, something new and different. I thought I'd buy some of that for myself. I did see my sister recently, more on that later, and there was a few things that I was picking up from her. So she went to the Knitting and Stitching Festival in, was it Ali Pali? I think in November last year, and she picked me up a zip, and I finally got it from her. So she's very, very kind. So she got me this really, really cool rainbow continuous zip. You know how I feel about continuous zips. So she picked me up, I think there's probably 1 meter of that, and then a little gold zip pull. So I think this is really funky. I think that's really cool. That needs to take pride of place on some make. I'm going to throw everything on the floor. It's going to be a nightmare to tidy up this room later, but never mind. Oh, actually, speaking of this room, somebody did comment asking that they might like a sewing room tour. Let me know if you would. I did do a sewing room tour years ago when I had a sewing room down in our shed, but I've now moved into this space. Let me know down below if you'd like, if that's something you'd like to see. All of this. So what else did I get for my sister? Yes, a little while ago, Becky Seamstress were doing a sale on their binding. You know how much I love this Becky Seamstress binding. Again, how to bind a neckline will appear by magic up here. And I was tempted by this little rainbow heart one. I think this is just lovely. So grabbed myself some of those. Then also I had done a pre-order in January. So you know you're in January, it's after Christmas. You're scrolling on your phone and I saw this fabric and I thought, I have to have it, and they said it'll be delivered in March, and I thought, okay, be a little present for myself, because if it's a pre-order you've then forgotten that you've ordered it and it's then a present for yourself. That's how the maths in my head works. And I saw this fabric. Isn't it fabulous? It's green and pink and it's wicked, and it is just brilliant. It's a Fabric Mama. It's a really stretchy cotton jersey, and it is just, although it doesn't go that white actually when you stretch it, it looks like glitter, but it's not. It's really clever, and I just got 1 meter, and I think this is just fabulous. And I would like to make an MET out of this. I've made that Jennifer Lauren pattern a good few times. It's a grown on short sleeve t-shirt. It wouldn't break up the pattern at all, but I just think this is fabulous. And my boys, whenever they see wicked things, they always say, mummy, 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 it's wicked, and they love seeing this. So I might, if I could do the offcuts, I wonder could I do something clever with the offcuts for them. We'll see. So that was another little thing I got in the post, and that was all my happy mail. So will I get on to the main reason you're here, and that is all about my Stitch Festival days. Hi everyone, it's Wednesday lunchtime. My flight to London is late this afternoon. I've had my nails done, I've got my clothes laid out, I'm all packed, ready to go. I have a little bit of time to kill before I need to go to the airport, so I thought it would be a good time to put in a zip. So we'll see how that goes. Basically, I'm trying to keep myself occupied because I'm super excited about the weekend. So I will catch up with you in a little bit at the airport. I was super excited to get to the airport. I was literally waiting for my flight. It was later in the day and I was basically just killing time for the rest of the day. So eventually I made it to the airport. Hello, so I'm at the airport. The glasses are on because I've probably fallen asleep on the plane. I've got my beautiful aspen dress on, my Fabric Godmother new dress in green. And yeah, just waiting for my flight. So exciting times. So you'll see here that I was wearing my green Fabric Godmother aspen dress that I made recently in a beautiful viscose linen from Dresdenstoffen. Absolutely love that dress. Super, super nice. And then I proceeded to wear green dresses for the rest of the 3 days, so you'll see them later. But I did actually say on here what I would be wearing at Stitch, and it worked out so well because an awful lot of people came over to me and said they recognised me from my dresses, so that was just brilliant. Another thing I wore for the whole of the 3 days was these beauties. I got these a little while ago from Jazz and Wow. I absolutely love them. The lovely Bex. I'll link her Etsy shop below. She's fabulous, fabulous jewellery. And of course I met her at Stitch and had to show her I was wearing her lovely earrings, so they matched perfectly. The other thing I was wearing that I brought and I wore all 3 days was my new bag. So this is the So Much Space tote bag. And this is designed by my lovely, lovely friend, Sam, So Let's Spark with Sam. I'll link all her socials below. So she recently released this bag pattern and it is fabulous. It's on her Ko-fi account. I'll also link that below. It's called the So Much Space and I can confirm it has so much space. I used this for 2 days of Stitch Festival. It's fully lined. It holds so much. It's got a beautiful front pocket as well. It's got a beautiful boxed out bottom. I recently used it as an overnight bag and it's also perfect. So it's just a fabulous bag pattern. I have a picture of me with the bag and the designer, which I love. And we did actually see a few people wearing this bag as well, which is really, really great. So we've seen a few of them out in the wild. And if you cast your mind back, this fabric is actually very, very special as well because it came from Alfredo's stash, and we're currently making a memory quilt for Alfredo. So if you want to hear more about that, I'll link the video below where I speak about all that. But this fabric is very, very precious, and it was just an honour to bring it to the Stitch Festival as well. I also was able to use the fabric as the little lanyards, which I showed the last time, which came in really, really handy as well. A little wallet and a little phone case, perfect for travel. The phone case is downstairs because I'm using it all the time. So this was my lovely friend Sam's bag. It was just brilliant, and I had little hardware, and I was showing Victoria little rosy cheeks. I said, I've got your label here, and I've got your label here, and I've got your label here. Hilarious. You could tell I love her labels. But yes, this bag was just fabulous. So that's what I had walking around all the Stitch Festival. So scrolling back to Wednesday, I landed in London. My lovely sister came to collect me. We had the most fabulous Mexican food for dinner. It was absolutely gorgeous. I love a margarita. I really, really do. I was able to gift her Juliet pouch, and I was also able to gift her and my nephew the quilt that I've been making. So finally able to gift that after many, many months. I'll pop in a picture here, and they really, really loved it. So I was absolutely delighted. Before I left for Stitch, my sister actually also commissioned me to make my nephew a cape. So there are very, very few people in the world who I would down tools for and suddenly make a cape for, but my sister and my nephew are two of those people. So I quickly ran upstairs to my stash, my scraps bin. If you watch my So Frugal, you know what I mean. And I was able to whip him up a little cape. I traced it off a cape that my boys have. I bond-webbed on a few little stars, and it's fully lined. I did Velcro, and it's really, really cute. He looks adorable. But I'd realised I'd run out of made by Auntie labels, so I was able to get some more at Stitch Festival, which was very, very handy, and my sister can stitch that on. But so yes, Wednesday night was lovely, and then I was just super excited about Thursday morning. Good morning. So I'm just navigating the tube system up to the design centre. I had the most glorious breakfast with my little sister. We sat out in the sunshine, we had coffee, we had pastries. It was fabulous. So now I'm just waiting for the tube, and I'm super excited. I've got beautiful Jasmine earrings and my lovely Kelly dress. So let's go on the next tube. I think I can hear it. So you can see here Thursday, navigating the tube, wearing my lovely Kelly dress, which I love. Myself and my sister went for a most beautiful breakfast early on Thursday morning. We sat outside, no coats on, literally sat in the sunshine. It was just glorious. It was so, so, so nice. And then I headed off to the design centre, and as luck would have it, and if we had tried to do it, there was no way we would be able to work it out. But I came in this door, and Katherine Sober to Makery came in this door of the tube. It was just hilarious, the squealing. And Katherine's poor mother, who was just lovely, she was behind Katherine thinking, what is going on? As myself and Katherine literally just squealed at each other. It was marvellous. So we headed into the design centre. You'll see on Katherine's video that they headed off because they had VIP tickets and I was left to queue. But it was fine. If you have been to the design centre, or if you're wondering, the queue is quite big and it snakes around, but it does go very, very quickly, so it's fine, and I didn't mind standing in the sunshine. So then I eventually made it into the design centre, and it's a fabulous space. It's very, very big, very bright. Thursday wasn't busy, I didn't think, and I didn't think Friday was that busy either. Some people say it is very, very busy. Personally, crowds don't bother me. But I can see how it did get a little bit narrow on the top levels. I definitely can see that. But I just love that space. It's lovely and bright and airy. The only thing about it is there's a lower downstairs, then a downstairs, then an upstairs. And then there was a kind of an indie design business village, which is in by the stage, which was where the Prosecco bar was last year. Don't worry, I found where the Prosecco bar was this year. Don't you worry. And so it was kind of hidden away there. There was maybe 10 or 12 stalls in there, which were kind of hidden away. So I'm hoping they didn't kind of get forgotten. It would have been nicer if they were out in the main drag, as it were. But yeah, but there were some fabulous stalls there. They really, really were. And one of them I loved in particular, but more on that later. So by that stage, I'd met up with Katherine, her mum, Sam, Tania, Amelia from Amelia Ellen Sews, who I'd followed on Instagram for a long, long, long time. So I was able to meet her up with her, which was great. So we all kind of moseyed around together, which was really, really nice. I will pop in a load of videos here or pictures here as I'm talking. So, and I don't want to forget anybody. And if I have forgotten anybody, I'm so, so, so sorry. Please let me know and I'll put them in the description box below. So I didn't have a budget going to Stitch, and I didn't really have a list. So in one way that was good because I didn't break the budget, but I didn't necessarily get everything I wanted from my list, but it worked out fine. And I think I was actually quite restrained, but I will show you what I bought at the end of the video. But I did want to make a beeline for a few people, the usual, like Little Rosy Cheeks, Ethel and Joan, all that kind of good stuff. And they're where they were last year. And it was just so nice to see all the business owners who you follow for such a long time. And it was just lovely to get to see them. And it was quite quiet on Thursday morning, so we got to have a little bit of a chat. Obviously we had to go to the Bornella vending machine. So this was just a brainwave by Bornella. It was just fabulous. So she put out before we went to Stitch Festival saying, I've had an idea, woven labels. And then she said, but they're going to be in a vending machine. And at that second, I think, you know, in a kind of cartoon way, my eyes popped out saying, well, this is going to be great fun. So I made sure I had my pound coin for the vending machine, like the kind of the gumball ones, and it was just really, really good fun. But I'll show you that later as well. But that was just a stroke of genius. And I do have a little picture of me doing that. It was just so much fun. It was really cute. You got a little label and you got a sweetie. The sweetie was actually very much needed because you need to keep your blood sugar up at these festivals. You really do, because there's an awful lot of walking and an awful lot of chatting and high energy activities. That was very, very gratefully received. What else did I do? So I met up with so many people. We just wandered and chatted and called into stalls and met lovely people. So then we ran into Mandy and her lovely friend Clare, who actually were the very, very first two people I met at Stitch Festival last year, which was lovely. And they were both in purple this year, but they were both in teal this year, and they're just fabulous. I love both those ladies. I met Melanie. So she was up at the Studio 77 stall. So definitely had to call into Emma there, which was right next door to the Stash Hub stand, which is great. So I was on Stash Chats recently with the lovely Yvette, which was great. So I'll link that below. So it was really nice to meet her. I met her very, very late in the day at Stitch Festival last year, but this year now I was able to have a proper chat with herself and her husband Doug. So the Stash Up stall was just brilliant. I met Luke, the winner of the Sewing Bee, which was amazing, and they are just so nice. Oh my word, we chatted for so long. It was great. And kind of kept seeing them around the festival as well, Thursday and Friday, and saying quick hello and having a chat and everything. Oh, they were just marvellous. And we also went to the Q&A with them as well. And that was really, really good actually. So there was some excellent questions and got to know them a little bit better about the wedding, about the suit, about the bee. It was really, really good fun. And also they were on Stash Chats Wednesday of this week with Yvette as well, which is really, really nice. Randomly, we were all sitting down, maybe having a cheeky glass of Prosecco, and we were talking about Tammy Handmade. I think we were talking about the Naya t-shirt, and then we were talking about her new book. And literally I looked up and I was like, I think that's Tammy over there. And she was wearing that beautiful kind of gingham sheer dress. So of course we ran straight over, and the poor girl, they're like, are you Tammy? So we just said a quick hello and congratulations on the book. But that's why I love the Stitch Festival. It's such a social event, and you just see people that you know all around the place, whether from YouTube or Instagram or small businesses. It was just really, really nice. So apologies for running into her. She's in the middle of doing her shopping. We also met my lovely, lovely friend Jan. So I met Jan for the first time at the Beyond the Pink Door retreat. I think that was about 2 years ago now, and we just randomly bumped into her and her lovely friend Clare, who I then saw again the next day. And Jan is just so lovely, and I was a total pup because Jan is the most amazing photographer. I think I mentioned that last year as well, and she took some of the most beautiful pictures of us. So Jan, thank you so much. So you can see it was just chat the whole time. It was just marvellous. Then I met up a few other people who I know from previous shows. There was and this, I can't now remember if it was a Thursday or Friday, but my lovely friend Elaine, and then Aoife, and then also Helen and Sarah. So I think I've got a few pictures of all of them as well, and that was just really, really nice. You kind of walk past people and recognise people. It's just brilliant. So that was the day. Spent the entire day there wandering around. We did bring out our lunch. Top tip, if you are going to the Stitch Festival, it's a really good idea to bring a sandwich. You may have to sit on the floor, which we had to, but that's fine, because the food you have to queue and all that and stuff. So be prepared. Bring a water bottle, bring a coffee cup. Make your life an awful lot easier. So by that stage we were getting pretty tired, and then a few of us went for a lovely pizza dinner, which was really, really nice. And we got to meet up then with Katie from Whatever Katie Sews, which was great. And then I knew I had a long road ahead of me because my sister does not live near the Islington Design Centre, so I knew I had to get back safe and sound. So I just headed on my merry way, knowing that I still had the Friday the next day, which was brilliant. Friday. So Friday I wore my Lotta dress, which I absolutely love. The fabric is from Crafty Studios. I'll pop in a picture here. We were up kind of at the balcony, really, really nice. So the photo credit I think here is either to Sarah or Katherine. We were taking pictures of each other. It was really good fun. But we actually got snapped on the official Stitch Festival site, which was great. So it's a great place to stand. And then while we were up there, we ended up meeting my lovely friend Karen Marie, who'd come in all the way from Norway. And again, much like the Tammy Handmade story, we were just chatting about Karen Marie, saying, oh, I think she should be here at some stage. We walked out and there she was. So that was just amazing to meet her finally after chatting so much with her on Instagram. She is just a joy. She's so nice. And she also gifted me an enormous bar of chocolate. It's been a week. That chocolate is long gone. I think I'm very much like a Labrador. I shed blonde hair everywhere and I eat everything. But that chocolate was divine. I didn't eat the whole bar. My husband had a little bit. But yes, that was lovely. Thank you very much. And it was just lovely to chat to her and get to know her a little bit better. Then we ended up running into a load of vloggers, and I'll pop in a picture here, which is really, really nice. And that's kind of, the Friday was a lot more casual, I think, for me, because I'd done an awful lot of shopping on the Thursday, and the Friday was really kind of more chilled out. I bought a few bits, but not a huge amount. It was just more kind of chatting. My sister came later in the day, which was really, really nice. And we had a little wander around. She wanted to look at the knitting stuff, and then we randomly bumped into the Northern Sewl sisters, so Tania, Rachel and Ruan. That was really, really nice. And then at the same time we bumped into Andrea, who had met earlier in the day, so that was really nice. So it was just, you can see that it was just a social SEW day. It really, really was. It was just great. And then later on that afternoon, I had to leave a bit early to go get my flight. So an awful lot of people were concerned about me, and thank you very, very much. I was actually flying from London City. So Heathrow, if you've not heard, was actually closed for the entire Friday due to a fire. So, but I was actually due to fly out from London City Airport anyway, so I wasn't affected at all, although that flight was slightly delayed, but that's another story. But yes, I got home late on Friday night, utterly exhausted, utterly elated from a fabulous, fabulous few days. So since then, I've been watching everybody's vlogs who was there, poring over them, reliving everything, making note of the things that I didn't see, the stores that I didn't go to, which again, this happened last year as well. I think you just kind of miss things. So I've now got my list of things I have to go back to next year. Also Ray Stitch, the sewing shop, which is in Islington, which I didn't realise until I'd come home. That looked wonderful. I was very sorry not to have gone on the Saturday. You can't go for all 4 days, despite wanting to, but I would have loved to have gone on the Saturday because of the catwalk. That looked really good. So a lot of my lovely friends were on the catwalk, and well done, ladies. Amazing. That looks really good, but I would like to see the catwalk again next year. I did see it last year. I say next year because I am absolutely going to the Stitch Festival next year. No doubt about that. So that was basically my 2 days. It was action-packed. It was friend-filled. It was sewing community filled. It was just marvellous. So I have put in a load of pictures here of people I have pictures with, and say people I would have known previously. But I also want to say a massive thank you to anybody who came up to me to say hello and that they like my channel. You have no idea how happy it makes me. It really does. I sit here in my little room chatting to my phone all about my passion, my sewing, my crafting, all that kind of stuff. And it was just so lovely to meet people. And some people rushed by and say hello and then ran off again. Other people came up and we had a lovely chat. That was great. I'd like to apologise for the lady who came up just as I had taken a bite of my sandwich. I'm so sorry. The poor lady had to stand there while I finished eating before I could talk to her. I'm so sorry. Terribly unladylike. But I just love when people come up and chat, and people were showing me what they bought and I was showing them what they bought, and they were saying they love the channel, and it just means a huge, huge amount to me. And there's a few people now who I've met at various shows, which is really, really nice to see them again. And I just want to say a huge thank you. This is why I do it, to inspire the sewing community, to make friends in the sewing community, to share my love of sewing. And when people come up and tell me that they love what I do, it really, really makes me happy. So I'm not going to name everybody because there was lots of people, and I don't want to forget anybody or miss anybody out or anything like that. But you know who you are. And I did get messages from people who say they saw me but didn't want to come up and say hi. They were too shy, which I totally understand, but please don't ever feel shy about doing it. I love it. I really do. And just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I just love that aspect of it, that I get to meet new people and see what they're sewing and everything like that. And just thank you. Have I said thank you enough? Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just wonderful. Really, it brings me so much joy. It really, really does. So on that note, will I show you what I got? Right, I'm so excited to show you what I got because I want to get an awful lot of it in the wash so I can get it sewed up. So the first person I went to always is Little Rosy Cheeks, Victoria and Jen from Generate. So I always want to go and say hello to those ladies. So I did pick up a couple of labels because I just adore labels. And actually, you'll know that there's a definite theme in what I picked up, and it's very label heavy, which I love. So I picked up these, which say imperfectly perfect, which I just love. I think they're really, really pretty. Then I got these ones, which I'm going to take them out because it's very difficult for you to see. These are beautiful. I think they're relatively new. They say freshly made, but then they also come in the kind of the hanging version, which I think is really handy if you want to put them on the back of a coat or something. So, and they've got little flowers on them, and they're that style. I think they're really cute. Then, as I mentioned, I had to pick up a few Made by Auntie labels, which are adorable. So they're just a little kind of teal colour, and they've got little hands on the back, which are lovely. And then I saw these on Victoria's Instagram before I went, and I had to get some because I was saying to Mr. French Seams, it says made by my wife, which I love. And there's got little hearts on the back, which are really, really cute. So they're going to be all over makes that I make for Mr. French Seams. So there are my little labels from Victoria, and then she popped in, I think because I did do lots of purchasing, as I dropped it on the floor, I got these 2 little ones free. So I kept going back because I kept remembering stuff that I wanted to get. So I went back to get myself stuff, then I went back to get other people's stuff and more stuff for myself, and then my sister wanted to go back, so we ended up going to Victoria 3 times, which is wonderful. So after that I wanted to go to Ethel and Joan, because I had noticed early in the week as well that she is starting on a knitting adventure, which is wonderful. So, and she had beautiful little stitch markers, and you know that I've recently fallen down the rabbit hole of knitting socks, and I would like to say a huge big thank you to my lovely friend Cindy, who I've been messaging constantly for advice on my socks. So thank you very much, Cindy, for being so patient. So I picked up these beautiful stitch markers. So there's little clouds, and I actually bought buttons from Louise last year, and they're these little clouds. I think they're really cute. So I got 3 clouds. One of them is on my make, and then there's a little circle and a little lightning bolt, and I think these are really, really cute. So I was very keen to get those, because there was another place I wanted to go to, and again I just spotted it on the Stitch Festival Instagram before I went, because they were kind of highlighting a few of the businesses, and they are called 7 Magpies Studio. Beautiful wool and fibre, things like that, absolutely beautiful, and I really wanted to go visit them, and I was really happy because I picked up a ball of wool that I'd been eyeing up. So it's a self-striping wool, which I knew I wanted to get self-striping wool for my socks, but they had a Christmas version, I think it's the Yorkshire Spinners, a Christmas version that had been sold out in most places, and I was able to get some. So I bought a ball for myself, and then I brought it home to my sister, and she said, "Ooh, can I have a ball too?" So I actually went back to them the next day to buy another ball, and I have started my new knitting project. Would you like to see? So because Cindy is the font of all knowledge, I separated the wool into 2 balls. Here you go. And I have started 2 at a time, toe up socks, and I am loving it. This is the reason I haven't taken the Hoover out in days, because I have just been falling down the rabbit hole of my 2 at a time socks. So you can see I had to buy a new needle, and I found this shop in Wexford, I think it's called Craftsy, and it's a beautiful wooden needle, but it's all kind of different colours. It's fabulous. I'll link that shop below. It's new to me. I just googled what I needed and that shop popped up. Brilliant. I've got my other little stitch marker here, and this is my 2 at a time toe up socks, and I am so happy with how these came out, despite having to rip back a good amount of it because I got totally muddled. But this is what they're going to look like. So this is the toe, and you can see how the self-striping works. Isn't it really, really cool? So I am loving this. It's got a little bit of glitter, and there's a really cool cast on method. Is it Judy's Magic cast on at the bottom? It's just brilliant. I'm having so much fun. But Cindy, have your phone close to you for more of my questions. This is the pattern that she recommended. It's the trusty toe up socks, and I'm just following this to the letter, and I am having a ball. So that's my knitting. What else did I get? So that was my labels. I went to Bornella, and where did I put, bear with, it was staring at me on my table. I couldn't find it. So this is the little thing that I got from the Bornella vending machine. So much fun. Absolutely genius idea. So I'll pop in a picture of me doing it here. And you get the little pink thing, like a Kinder Egg. You get a sweetie, long gone. But the one I got was Flower Power. So I think there's a couple of designs, and that is just adorable. So I love Bornella fabrics. I went to them last year, and one of their fabrics was sold out. I think I did buy another one. But yes, I did buy some of their beautiful fabric as well. So that was Bornella. I made a beeline for Studio 77 because I missed them last year. And what I got there, excuse noise, they were doing an offer of 10 zip pulls for $6.50. Anyway, so I picked up 10 zip pulls, and are these the cutest, all different designs. I've got, oh dear, I was going to say I've got snowflakes. So good job, a couple snowflakes. I have thread spools. I have one very, I have a little frog. This is adorable. I like the little frog. I have one very retro one, and children of the 90s will know why. This reminds me of basically everything I had as a child. 2 little dolphins, and that's adorable. And yeah, little hearts and everything. So I won't show you all of them. That's brilliant. I loved doing that. So that was Studio 77. Also in the hardware category, or kind of things like that, I went to a lovely store called A Beautiful Thing, and they sell Sarah Hart's labels, which I love. So how beautiful are these? They're like quilt blocks. They're very much like my Nest sweatshirt, actually, so I thought these were beautiful. So that says handmade. I love this style as well. And she also had, I lost it again. Here it is. Phew! A zip pull. Not a zip pull, but it's kind of something to put in a zip. and it was just a gold version of that little block, which I think is really, really cute. So love that. So that was my little trip to A Beautiful Thing. So that's, oh, purple stitches. So I discovered purple stitches at the Stitch Festival last year. They do fabulous continuous zips, but I just purchased from them 2 bits of webbing. So this I have in navy that I got from Stitch Festival last year, which I used on my bestie bag, but I wanted a green one because I think that's gorgeous. And Katherine has this in pink and red, and I was really taken by it. So I think the green and blue is really, really pretty. So you can never have too much webbing. So I think that is beautiful, really, really nice. And then also while I was at their stall, I found cuffing. So I don't always use the poppy cuffing just because you don't have to fold it over, but you do have kind of a raw edge on the side, and I prefer using the one more like fabric. But I have a specific purpose for this, and I would like to make a bomber jacket. And I think you might have seen in my, I think I have shown it, I've got lovely kind of boucle fabric that I'd like to make a bomber jacket out of, and I think this looks really, really good as a bomber jacket for the cuff, the hemband and the collar piece. So that's why I picked this up, and I was very, very happy because I have been looking for this colourway for quite some time. So that was all. Oh, one more, sorry. Actually, this was Studio 77 as well, and these are labels. Can you see I bought a lot of labels? So I'm gonna have to make an awful lot of makes to use all these beautiful labels. Got this from the lovely Emma at Studio 77, and it says Bloomin' Beautiful, and it's green and gold, and I think it's beautiful. So that was another label. So all those labels can be now put away. I can tidy up my sewing room, and I will now move on to the fabric. So the first one, these are in no particular order, again, heavily influenced by people putting things out on Instagram before the Stitch Festival. I saw this on the Rainbow Fabrics site, and I mean really, it's green and it's bows, and it is beautiful. So this is, and I had to look up the name, this is Bottle Green and Cream Bow Viscose Satin Stretch. And so it does have a bit of a stretch to it. It's absolutely, oh, this way, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's just bows, and it's just gorgeous. So I think I got 3 meters of this. I am a brand ambassador for Rainbow Fabrics. I'll pop my code here where you get 20% off. It's Rachel !VIP. So as a brand ambassador, I did get this for half price. So it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. And this is going to be a guna, as we say in Irish, or a dress. The next thing I got was this beautiful fabric, which reminds me of the lovely Clare, Stitch and Sew, who I met earlier in the day. I'll pop in a picture of us here. Claire's wonderful. We chat an awful lot, and we did a collaboration a few years ago as well. She's just so nice, and I was so keen to meet her there as well, which was great. So this reminds me of her. And I actually sent her the link to it. I was like, I think you need this. Isn't this beautiful? This is from Stitch Fabrics, Rosenberg. It's that, that's a flower, and is it like an orchid or something? Somebody will tell me what flower that is, but I think it's absolutely beautiful, kind of teal, and I think I got 2 meters of this. It is a poly, I think, but it's absolutely beautiful. I really, really like it, and that's going to be another guna, another dress. Then, oh, yes, so I did actually come home with fabric, but I didn't actually purchase that fabric. My amazing friend Sam, Sewl Sparkle, who's probably one of the nicest people on the planet. She was at Plymouth Frock Sales, and she won one of the raffle prizes, and she won fabric from Atelier Jupe. And she messaged me last week. We were actually just on the way to the Patrick's Day parade, and so I gave her a quick FaceTime from the car, and she said, I won some fabric, but I think it's your colourway. Would you like it? I'm happy to give it to you. Sam, you're an absolute gem. So she gave me this fabric. Isn't it just beautiful? It's green and pink, and it's Atelier Jupe fabric, so it's beautiful. But look at this, and she just gave me this. Isn't she just amazing? So thank you so much, Sam. And on the topic of Sam, she also gifted the pattern to her bag, so I now have the printed pattern, stickers, and the cutest unicorn tweezers for your overlocker. I was afraid I wouldn't get it back on a plane, so I've left it with my sister, and she's bringing it when she's coming to stay with me next weekend, so it's on the way. But a unicorn overlocker tweezers, I mean, really. Sam, you're just the kindest person, thank you. So this is just gorgeous, and this is going to be blouse or a dress, maybe a blouse or a dress. Watch this space. The last 2 things were utterly hilarious, because at this stage now we're over with the vloggers, and there was Bex there, and there was Clare, and there was Sam, and there was Katherine. We were all kind of chatting, and I took out these 2 fabrics, and I was like, could these be any more on brand? So I mentioned earlier that I'd been to Bornella Fabrics, and I picked up 2 fabrics, and you will instantly see why. So the first one is this, and actually Clare stitched them, so I got a fabulous picture of me holding it up. It's green and pink. I don't know, do I need some sort of intervention? Should I start buying fabrics in different colours? Answers on a postcard. But look at this. This is fabulous. It's a cotton jersey, and it's a No, it's a French terry. It's a brushback French terry. Actually, I thought it was a cotton jersey. Even better. So it's beautiful structure, beautiful weight, and I think this will still make a lovely t-shirt. I just got a meter, and I love the La Brea top. I've made a good few of them. It's a short sleeve grown on t-shirt with binding all around it, and then a hemband. I really, really like it. I know I can get that out of a meter, but I think this is just beautiful. I really, really do. And then the last thing I bought is this. So I had seen this on Clare loves red, so I think she's made a sweater or cardigan out of it. But I when I saw this at Bornella, I was like, I have to have this. And I've now since seen that Bex has bought it. I think Adele has it, and yeah, so I'm in very good company. I think Bex is going to make a cardigan, which actually is a very, very good idea. So it was lovely to see Bex. Really, really nice to see her. So yeah, I just love this. So a leopard print or ladies, and I just think it is fabulous. So it is a, what is it? Kind of a brushback, yeah, sweatshirting. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So this is going to be a sweatshirt of some description. Would you cry if I made another Billy? Hopefully not, but I think this is just screaming out to be a sweatshirt, and soon before our weather gets boiling hot, like I'm sure it will do in the summer. Ha ha ha. So I think that is everything. So yeah, did I mention that? I mentioned my wool, I mentioned all my fabric. I think it is. Goodness me, what do you think? I don't think I went too mad. I don't think I did, but I had an incredible time. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. I met amazing people, spent time with the fabulous sewing community, spent time with my lovely sister, my brother-in-law, my nephew, which is lovely, which is a very, very happy byproduct of Stitch Festival being in London. My sister can never move. It was just wonderful. If you were there, and share what you got, what you thought of it. I love it, and I am absolutely going back next year. Thank you again if you came up to say hello. Thank you to all my lovely friends for wandering around and chatting and just spending time with everybody. It was just fabulous. It really, really was. So, oh my goodness, still on a high from it. So I shall leave it there because I've talked to you for way longer than I should have. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would also love it if you would consider subscribing. Please leave me a comment below what you think, thoughts about Stitch, about anything about these fabrics, if you've got any ideas for what I can make, and I will hopefully come back to you very, very soon with another video. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely weekend, and happy sewing!